In the last 10 minutes, Oxfam, bottom half of world's population received none of the wealth. In the last half hour, 5 richest men in Brazil have as much income as half the population in the last hour. Capitalism, a crime against humanity. In the last 4 hours, Oxfam, richest 1%, owned 73% of wealth in India. Earlier today, in the last 8 hours, imagining an alternative to growing global inequality. 7 facts about wealth inequality that will shock and infuriate you. Yesterday, Oxfam, richest 1%, took in 82% of wealth last year. Oxfam report shows there's urgent need for tax on wealth. World's richest 1% acquired 82% of wealth in 2017. Report staggering wealth gap continues to grow. Oxfam, the 5 biggest problems with Oxfam's 2018 income inequality report. Richest 1% cornered 82% of wealth created in 2017. Can the world be more equal? A 1.5% tax on billionaires could educate all the world's children. World's richest 1% claims 82% of wealth created in 2017. Oxfam World economy drives inequality. Oxfam Scotland's inequality gap widening. Inequality gap. 82% of wealth created in 2017 went to the 1%. Report. Wealthy earned enough to end poverty in 2017. World's richest gain 82% of new wealth as inequality gap widens. There's a huge gender component to income inequality that we're ignoring. The Billionaire Bonanza. 5 things you need to know about the inequality gap. Richest 1% own 82% of world's wealth, says Oxfam's report. Billionaire Bonanza driving huge global inequality. Oxfam. 42 super rich hold same wealth as world's poorest. 3.7 billion South Africans want government to reduce gap between rich and poor. Oxfam report. Oxfam. 42 billionaires hold as much wealth as world's poorest. 3.7 billion. Oxfam inequality report, charting the gulf between rich and poor. Inequality on the rise in NI as richest 1% claim 45% of new wealth. Oxfam report reveals rich getting richer while poor get poorer. SA still the most unequal society in the world. Oxfam research shows. Oxfam report reveals the rich is getting richer while the poor get poorer. World adds 1 billionaire every other day. Richest 1% take lion's share of wealth. Report. Oxfam. 82% of 2017 wealth went to richest 1%. 82% of all the wealth in the world went to just 1% of its people last year. Top CEOs take 4 days to earn a Bangladesh worker's life pay. Oxfam's inequality mistake. 42 people hold the same wealth as half the world. Oxfam says 82% of the world's wealth is in the hands of 1% of the people. Richest 1% gets 82% of wealth. Oxfam Island's Billionaire Club increases with 2 additions. Oxfam reports biggest ever increase in billionaires. Oxfam speaks to Sputnik on spiraling global inequality ahead of Davos. Inequality gap widens as world sees record number of billionaires. Inequality gap widens as 42 people hold same wealth as 3.7 billion. Poorest world's richest 1% earn 82% of wealth generated in 2017. Oxfam surging number of billionaires fueling inequality crisis. Oxfam says richest grabbed most of last year's spoils. World's richest gained 82% of 2017's new wealth. Oxfam International. Richest 1% bagged 82% wealth in 2017. Oxfam would rather make us all poorer than feed the world. Morrison lauds Trump's corporate tax cuts. Oxfam. Richest 1% received 82% of wealth in 2017. The GFC only temporarily interrupted the trend towards rising inequality. Richest 1% made 82% of wealth created last year. Report. Richest 1% owned 73% of India's wealth. Report. India's richest 1% grabbed 73% of wealth generation in 2017. Survey. Richest 1% made 82% of wealth created last year. Oxfam World's 42 richest are worth same as poorest. 50% combined world inequality grows amid glut of new billionaires. Oxfam says super rich bagged 82% of wealth created last year. Billionaire Bonanza driving huge global inequality. Oxfam richest 1% took 82% of new global wealth last year. World's richest gained 82% of new wealth in 2017. Oxfam report shows inequality divide widens as 42 people hold same wealth as 3.7 billion. Poorest in the last 7 days. World's top 1% earn 82% of wealth generated in 2017, says Oxfam. Richest 1 PCT sucking up quarter of NZ's wealth. Oxfam World's richest 42 people have same wealth as 3.7 billion. Poorest world's richest 1% pocketed 80% of new wealth last year. Report shows in the last month the EU urged to name European states in tax haven blacklist. The Kiwi battlers big taxes rent.